Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tales of Ioybos Beginnings, a mini-series in which we focus on characters set in the world of Ioybos. This week, we have another beloved character from our main campaign. We are focusing on Rolland Candrid, played by Buddy Mills.
Hello.
Uh, we're going to kind of go over some of his backstory. Buddy's going to explain his kind of upbringing, and then we'll lead into a story that has not been told. So, Buddy, if you want to explain and describe who Rolland Candrid is.
Rolland Candrid is a dwarf, or more specifically, a hill dwarf that lives up in Scorn City. Born and raised, followed in his father's footsteps in the form of blacksmithing when helping in his forge at a young age. When it was time for his turn, he took the hammer and continued on the legacy that his father had left behind, making from armors to weaponry to almost anything he could try to get his hands on to hone the skill.
Oh yeah, blacksmithing. Oh yeah.
Then one day, as he was out in the forge, a small established group, or militia as you would call it, came by looking for volunteers. And that the name of the militia was the Caravan of Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
After hearing their plea for help, he thought about it for a while and said, "I've done blacksmithing as much as I could. I've honed as enough, at least here. At least if I can learn something else, it would also help with whatever I can do, whether it be for defending myself or others, whilst also maybe repairing a few things along the way."
A man of many talents.
Yeah.
So the this militia had picked up Roland, and you kind of found your way within the Caravan of Sentinels, establishing yourself with the skills that you have already honed over the course of the few years that you've been, or that you grew up in Scorn City.
Mm-hmm.
While you started creating these relationships, you befriended an orc named Rumuk.
Mick was an interesting individual when it came to orcs, considering the fact that, well, in most cases, orcs and dwarves don't tend to get along very well. After Roland had established himself, after meeting Rumik for the time being, was hesitant but opened up eventually, finding out that Rumik joined, and his specialty was infiltration for the most part. Going in, seeing what can be taken down either quickly and not necessarily silently, but still quickly.
Another man of many talents.
Yeah.
While there as well, you befriended a fellow dwarf named Tordek.
Tordek was part of. Tordek was a regular for Roland's Forge in Scorn City. He didn't join up right away. He eventually joined up later on after finding out someone from there was also going to heed the calls. Decided I might as well do my part as well and hopefully make a career out of it or what have you.
All right, and then we also a lovely high elf, so she claims, Liliandra.
Leandra, yes. She claimed herself to be a high elf for the entire time Roland has met her, saying that, with her skills of a bow and being the marksman of the militia, it's like, she would just claim like, oh, it's because of my high elf genetics and everything else, when in reality, her and the rest of the militia went, she could not be a high elf if she's rolling with a bunch of ragtags like us.
And the person who was in charge of this ragtag group was a human named Frederick Scow.
Frederick Scow. At that point in time, Roland didn't necessarily have conversations with him unless it had to do in terms of strategy and tactics, because of course he was a captain, and it never really saw him much outside of on the field. He tend to stay with other people who were commissioned officers, and the only time he'd ever really had a decent conversation with himself or with Roland or anyone in the group was if he's had one too many drinks.
As a good commanding officer does. So yeah, it took a few months for you guys to get to know each other, to create this bond, but have that familiarity within your small group. Frederick now kind of commands you guys individually. You guys are kind of a branch off of where the Caravan of Sentinels is as a whole, where you guys are kind of operating independently, but still under the same umbrella. Frederick, for many months, has prepared you guys for potential dangers that rumors have been circling around Scorn City. Scorn City is, as you said, a heel city full of dwarves, but there are always mysterious travelers who come and kind of cause havoc, and the activity has been spewing over the past few months while you guys have been training, whether it be for different terrains or whatnot, but trying to find that cohesion with one another. You guys are currently on the far outside of Scorn City. Okay. You guys are kind of finishing up a field testing type of training that you guys have going on. Periodically, you guys go into the outside of the city to make sure that you are all comfortable and are battle ready, as one would say. As of right now, you guys are waking up in the early morning, beginning to pack your bags. You can see that Liliandra is making her quiver easily accessible, just in case of any danger. You see Tordek, with two hand axes at the ready. And then you see Rumuk with a warhammer. Again, very beefy. Very. I'm sorry, no, not Rumuk. You see Rumuk with more of a lighter leather outfit with what seems to be like multiple daggers kind of around his chest. What would you like to do?
I'm assuming I'm already awake at this point, right?
Yeah, you're following suit with them, so you're kind of packing up all your gear.
I start packing up all my gear, making sure everything is where it needs to be. And I don't say anything to the group yet. I slowly inched my way in and just staying around and seeing what, whether it be listening to their conversations or seeing if anyone needs medical attention.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like anyone's like injured or of any of the sort. They're kind of bullshitting, just kind of talking about like the winter solstice is coming up soon, so it's a little chilly outside, but kind of just bitching about the cold. Talking about how like the long trek back to Scorn City is just going to be kind of annoying because of the trail that you guys led over to the specific area. It's very rocky and a lot of hills, a lot of dangerous terrain to have to go through.
Mm-hmm. When it came to talking about the terrain and traversing it, all I do is just eventually say, "Try being my size and traversing through that."
You see as Tordik turns your way and just be like, "Hey, it's not fun."
It never is.
You guys kind of just give like an accepting like grunt to each other. The entire party kind of just like laughs it off a little bit, and you guys begin making your way back towards the inner city. It takes about maybe 3 hours for you guys to kind of reach the outer rim of the city. you can see that there are multiple outposts kind of slated along the outskirts. Normally, there's nothing to be seen on these posts, but as you guys kind of walk up, you can see that 3 of the towers have their lights shining from the flame.
Mm. Okay. Is it just only 3 of them that are lit?
Yes.
That doesn't seem that suspicious, but it does raise a question. Why only 3?
You see as Liliandra kind of looks a little puzzled. She looks around and just says, I'm going to scout, just in case there's anything afoot.
Well, try not to get yourself killed, eh? I'd hate to come looking for you.
See, she kind of like gives you a wink and takes off. Yeah, so she takes off to the east as you guys are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she goes this way.
You want me to move it this way to make it easier? Or...
No, you're good.
Okay.
You can see as Rumuk and Tordik are kind of like at the ready, just in case, as you guys continue making your way towards the entrance to the city.
Okay. Do I notice anything out of the ordinary as I walk and keep my head turning?
Yeah. So the closer you get to the entrance, you're puzzled because there are not as many townsfolk at the entrance as there normally would be. It seems very scarce.
Where's Frederick and all this? Has he been with us, or did
No,
he go ahead?
he's not with you.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent you guys out for
All
this
right.
excursion.
All right. I don't like the way this feels.
You can see as Roma kind of like looks suspicious.
Right here. Head on a swivel, gents. Last thing we need is an arrow in the back.
As you say this, you can see a town, like an individual person rushing down towards the entrance. You see they're kind of like in rough clothing, very like torn cloths. You can see them just running away, like running towards you guys, just being like, help us. You see as an arrow pierces the back as the body falls flat right where the entrance is at. Instinctively, you can see as Tordik and Rumik kind of shield themselves and kind of take a step back.
Do I, other than from what I see, do I know exactly where the arrow came from, or would you just like?
No,
No.
Yeah, because it would be hard for you guys to really,
Yeah.
like tune in to where exactly it shot from.
Rumik, go find the Leandra. We may need her. Tordik, you stay with me. We're gonna keep moving.
Copy that.
You see as he rushes off to the east in search for Leandra. You and Tordik are. You said you're going. Where?
Going to continue towards the gate, but slowly with our weapons ready and shields if we have any.
Okay, yeah. He does not. But I don't think you.
I don't think I do either.
Yeah.
At least not for this one specifically, no.
Let's find out.
But wait, look at my equipment.
Because I think.
Oh, no, wait, I do.
Yeah, you should have a shield.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have the shield up.
Okay,
Whilst-
as you're walking in.
Yeah.
All right. So as you two begin making your paces forward, as soon as you cross the line of where you can kind of see where the entrance of the town is at, you hear, "Stay back! They're attacking us all." You can hear the voice of Frederick. Sounds like it's coming from your left side, as you're keeping your shield up.
I stop in my tracks and I look to my left.
To the left, you can see that Frederick is leaning up against like a boulder. Kind of like where, so like there's like a small wall that shows off the entrance, and there's a boulder where he's kind of leaning up against. You can see that like his right arm is injured. It's nothing like too grotesque, but like you can see like blood splattered around his arm. He's kind of holding his bicep. He's like, "Don't come in here."
Captain, you and I know better than that. If something is attacking, we have no choice but to react.
We tried.
How bad is it?
This is worse than anything we could have possibly imagined. I did not prepare you or the other soldiers for something like this.
Can we at least evacuate any sort of townsfolk out?
We can try, but I don't know if we can survive through this.
Well, first question is, do you need me to help you first?
Please. You see as he like struggles to get up, pulls up his shoulder, and you can see like there's a large like bite mark out of his shoulder.
The hell happened to you? As I'm saying this, I use cure wounds.
Right.
So that's one first level spot. 1d8 plus 2. I heal him for 3 points.
3 points. Just he needed it. You see as the magical that orange aura kind of goes around his shoulder. Doesn't completely heal, but you can see as like some flesh begins to slowly repair. Kind of stands up and okay. We need a plan. Where are the other two?
Leandra went east to scout, and I made Rema go after her.
Shit. Okay, we need to find them. If you said that they're going to the east, then they are in danger.
Exactly how bad? Worse than what I'm looking at now.
That was just a small one.
God. Alright. Are you even fit to travel at this point?
It doesn't matter. We need to leave now. You see as he rushes kind of past you. You guys make your way out of the entrance of the city and kind of go into more of the hilly, more foresty sections. You kind of track a few hundred feet forward. And I need you to roll me a... Oh, gosh. One second. I'll need you to roll a insight check.
Insight. Oh. It's a nice looking number. 16 total.
16 total. Okay, so as you see Frederick walking and kind of going through this terrain, it's a little strange how quick he's able to find his foot pattern in this rough terrain.
And we've never been through this before, I'm
Correct.
assuming. And I'm assuming I'm the one that notices that so far.
Yeah, because it's just you and Tordek is more like he's following your lead.
Yeah. So, as I notice this, I eventually, not enough to where at least for Frederick to know, but I keep my distance while kind of telling Tordek or motioning for Tordek to slow down, and just go to him. He's been
Okay. Yeah. Roll me a d20 real quick.
Okay. 18.
Ooh, yeah. All right. So yeah, you're able to do this pretty easy. Without him having any inclination that you guys are kind of stepping back a little bit. You can see as Frederick continues to kind of press forward. He stops right in front of a tree, and you find this very strange that he immediately looks up. He goes, "That is that. That can't be Romix." As he points up, you can see that there's like a leather chest plate. Very reminiscent to what Romic usually wears, having the cross stitch of the daggers right there.
And as I'm still noticing this, I just looked at Tordek and go, something is not right here. Notice how we were traversing this with some difficulty. We've never been through this. Neither has the captain. He's traversing this with ease.
Yes, that is a little strange, but I mean, it's the captain, right? Wouldn't he know better?
We've never been through this, Tordek. You and I know that.
True.
This is new terrain, so to speak.
While you guys are having a conversation, Frederick's just like, What are you guys doing?"
And I just turn over and go, oh, Tordek slipped, and I had to make sure he was all right.
Well, we're gonna need to figure out why Rummick's chest armor is here.
And just like one little thing before I make my way, just go. And also, why do you know to look up to where to find that? To find the chest piece.
Tordek just kind of has a very accepting nod to you. Just, yeah, I think you're right. There is something wrong here.
And I make my way there, and then having like my placing one hand near my hand axe that I have, and just look up and just go, well, sir, I never knew him well to begin with to really traverse through the trees, so this is rather unusual, considering his size.
Fix that in post. That is very strange, but these animals that are attacking, they are agile. Perhaps it's them that brought him up to the trees.
Animals, you say? So, animals that know how to use bows and left a very large, rather decent-sized bite out of your arm. What exactly are we dealing with here?
I do not know what to call them. But they are anthropomorphic creatures. They stand on 2 feet and have opposable thumbs, but look nothing like a normal humanoid or orc or anything like that. They have bestial features.
So, as he's explaining all this, I look up to where he pointed to the chess piece. From that height, do I notice like if there's been like blood or anything missing on it?
So, wait, from on the ground?
Yeah, from on the ground.
Roll me a investigation.
Investigation. All right. 19 total.
Woo!
Yeah, where were these rolls in the main campaign?
For real. 1 second. Yeah, so looking at the leather armor, you don't see any blood or anything like that. However, you do see that it looks like the back for where it's hanging, it looks like it was like clawed off.
What would I have to roll to see if there's been any sort of tracks like on the ground or maybe even near the tree?
Tracks would be... I should know this off the top of my head.
Would it be investigation again, or would it be nature?
No, it's survival.
Survival? Gotcha. Okay. Nat 1.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't see any traces or anything around the tree or around the ground. Nothing.
Yeah, I look around just a bit confused and I guess you can say disoriented and just go, Captain, you have any ideas? Considering the fact you are the lead officer.
He kind of just looks a little puzzled for a moment and says, "My idea was to just leave town."
Yes, but we can't have innocent lives be destroyed.
You're right, Roland. You're right. Well, I think what we need to do is find Romek's body and continue searching for Liliandra.
Pardon my say so, sir, but what makes you believe that Romek is dead?
You can see that he kind of stops in his tracks, like thinking, really trying to think hard right now. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception's 12.
You see if he kind of just like stumbles in. He goes, "One thing I've learned from being in charge is you have to accept the worst just in case. Not saying he is dead, but I am prepared emotionally in case he is."
Okay. I stare at him for a moment. I look at Tordek to see what his mind is, whatever he may be expressing, whether it be he believes him or if there's any sort of like.
You can see that Tordek, he feels like what the captain is saying rings true.
Right. So then where do we go from here to look for them?
Well, let's continue circling around the city. Knowing Liliandra, she wants a good eye on the outskirts. So
Right, she does.
let us continue forward. Hopefully we can find her tracks somewhere along this ridge. So you guys continue to go around the city. You guys are now going further up these large hills. Roll me a perception check.
5.
Oof. Yeah. The first hour that you guys are looking, you cannot find a sign of anything within that general area.
And I'm assuming we're following Frederick and all this, and we
Yes.
still can't. Okay. Would I have any sort of inkling that we're going in circles, or would I have to roll again for it?
No. So you're not necessarily going in circles, but you are making a large circle around the city. So
Okay.
it's like you guys are going up and over.
Okay, but it's not like he's not like he's leading us
Yeah,
around.
no.
Okay, all right.
But you guys continue for another hour, and you guys find, Frederick finds a large cavern like opening. It's kind of hidden behind a few trees and another few rock formations. And you see as he kind of like brushes this greenage away and like proceeds to walk through, as if he already knew this was already there.
I stand outside the cavern for right now, and then just look to Tordek once more and go, I don't think this is our captain, Tordek.
Tordek looks at you and just says, "I agree. Something is very, very wrong here."
Do I have your word you'll stand by me if things go bad?
I supported you back then. I supported you out in the field. I'll support you now. You've always been by my side, and I'll be right by yours.
Good man. I fear that whatever it is that the captain, if he is the captain, has something more in store for us than what may be happening out there by the city.
As you say this, you and Tordek
Mm-hmm.
see an arrow land straight into the rock right next to where the green falls, where it's like where the opening's at. There's a piece of paper connected to the arrow.
I, of course, once the arrow does hit, I, of course, just bring the shield up and weapon at the ready until I eventually see the piece of paper and just take it off the arrow.
You read it?
I read it, obviously.
Just make sure.
Yeah, and I go and unravel it to read it.
As you unravel the little parchment, you can see, be aware, the captain is dead.
Okay, then my next question would be, would I know if it was the Leandra's arrow at
Yes.
all? Okay.
Well, not necessarily her arrow, her
But-
writing.
Her writing.
Yeah.
Okay. I then, with wide eyes, I look at Tordek and go, "That's not him. I was right. The captain is dead. We need to leave now."
Tordek kind of just goes, okay, I don't know. How do we get away?
We can make some sort of diversion, maybe. Make it sound like we're getting attacked.
As you guys are talking, you can hear like, hey, what's going on? Come on, guys.
I then,
Tordek kind of just looks at you and just says, go find Liliandra. I'll meet with you. Just go.
don't do this, Tordek. No one needs a hero.
Rolland, I'm not trying to be a hero, but you need to find them. So as he kind of like pats you on the side,
I just nod and run in the opposite direction,
Goes
looking
in.
for Liliandra and Ramek.
so you essentially kind of take a 180, going kind of backtracking your steps. It takes a few like probably close to about 20 minutes of you walking away and kind of rummaging through the forest area, and you feel a large hand hit your shoulder.
In this process, in reaction, of course, shield about ready to bash somebody.
You heard, wait, stop, Rolland. You can see that it's Rummock.
You bastard. Almost clocked you again.
I know, I'm sorry. You can see that like he's now just a bare chest. Doesn't have his leather armor on. Far more dangerous things are happening in the city.
And you're telling me I was following someone that looked like the captain.
Liliandra found the
Great.
whatever you were following. It's not Frederick.
Then Tordek's in trouble.
It's Tordek.
The quote-unquote captain led us to a cavern. We didn't go in. Found Liliandra's writing on an arrow. He told me to leave and find you two.
At that moment, you hear a thump. You see as Liliandra like is standing right next to you guys. Well, I did try to warn you. We need to go get Tordek.
Cavern's not that far from here. I can lead you to it.
We know it's a trap.
Obviously.
We know it's not him. But the city is going in chaos.
And the question comes down to it, who do we help our own or do we help the townsfolk? That becomes the issue here. You and I both know that.
As you see Liliandra kind of having a difficult time with this, you see as Romak looks at you both. You both go to Tordek. I'll ask the rest of the Sentinels to help me help the town.
Good. No heroics here, Ramek. You don't need any more.
I'm gonna go find the other commanding officers.
We'll all meet in the center of town when this all blows over. You have my word.
I'm gonna hold you to it. And with that, I just immediately start going back towards the cavern with Leandra.
Yep. You both go forward. You see as Romuck takes his way. You enter through this cavern. On the inside, it's very barren. There's nothing extravagant about it. You feel like it's more of a cave more than anything else. Very dark, but with both of your guys' dark vision, you guys are able to see in shades of gray. It's very cold, but you feel a very strong breeze going through the entirety of the cavern.
While traversing through the cavern, is there anything like a light source or anything maybe at the end, or
No,
do I
not
hear
that
anything?
not that you can see, but you can. It's very strange for you to be able to feel a breeze.
Do I know where is it just coming from the front of us, or is
Yeah.
there like any specific place?
Yeah. So like a few minutes go by, and Liliandra just she kind of pierces her ear to the wind. She says, "It sounds like a hall,
A hall.
as if there's a large feast."
We need to find this now. My mind is racing in places it shouldn't.
I agree. You guys kind of bolt towards the sound in which Liliandra can hear. It takes you guys a good amount of time to try to traverse. Again, you can see in shades of gray, but it's still kind of dark for you guys.
It's still dark.
You guys turn a very sharp right, and as you turn, you can see a faint slit in one of the rock formations.
Okay.
There's some light kind of passing through, kind of illuminating one of the stones.
Is the slit wide enough for someone to go through, or is it just
You can't see from here, but if you get closer to try to peek through,
Now I'm gonna start to approach too.
yeah. So as you step forward, it has that kind of optical illusion where this stone face is further back than the slit. So as you kind of come forward, you can see that it's made to easily fit, like a large person.
Can I peek my head through to see if I can?
Roll me a stealth.
Oh shit! It's gonna suck. So I have a disadvantage with stealth. Ah well.
Yeah, because you're wearing
Heavy armor.
Heavy armor.
That's a 6. So it's a 7 is the first roll. And 4 is the next one.
So 4. All right, yeah. So as you kind of turn the corner, your armor scrapes up against the stone.
Yeah, just...
You kind of tilt over, and you can see a large, what seems like a domed room. Very elegant, nicely furnished, has a lot of different chairs. You see Tordik chained to one of these chairs. He's knocked out. You can see his head is kind of like slumped
hanging,
over.
Yeah.
You can see that there are multiple humanoids kind of hunched over on the table.
The ones that the captain explained what they look like and all that, or it's
Vaguely, yeah. Like
Okay.
you can tell it's like they're humanoids, but they have like longer limbs, and they look estranged.
okay. And I'm assuming they heard that me scraping across the cavern.
They didn't react in any way.
Okay. I looked back and just motioned for Liliandra just to keep her bow ready as I continue to slide my way through.
Okay, yeah. So you scrape the walls a little bit, but it seems like these humanoids are very fixated on the table. You roll me a perception check.
10.
You can faintly see the head of the imposter, kind of in the same motion as these other humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're all kind of preoccupied.
Yeah.
But at this point, Tordek is quite a ways from the rest of these humanoids.
Okay. With the, I know it's here. Oh, there it is. The hand axe that I had at my hip.
Mhm.
I just take the shield in one hand again, and have the hand axe in the other, and just kind of start smacking it against the
Ooh,
shield. Go,
making some noise.
yeah, and just say, "Right, you took one of my own. I'm gonna take you all if I need to."
Oh! Roll me an initiative!
Okay, I rolled 16 total.
All right, 1 second.
Mhm.
You said 16?
Mm-hmm. I already know what I'm gonna do right off the bat. It's gonna suck.
All right. So. All right, you're at the top of the order.
All right. So I'm assuming, are they fixated on me at all at this point?
And so now they have turned their attention to you. So
Okay.
you see, it's two of those strange humanoids, and Frederick are now looking at you.
Okay. So, oh yeah, quote unquote Frederick. So with the hand axe, I just saw it here. You son of a bitch. There it is. So would one of these creatures be the closest, I'm assuming?
Yes. Both the humanoids are closer to you than Frederick. Frederick's on the other side of the table.
Okay. So then what I will do is any one of the strange creatures
Mhm.
and just immediately throw the hand axe.
All right, roll me a 2 hit. So with your hand axe, it's a
D20.
dexterity throw.
So it's D20 plus 4 for the hit. So
Yep.
21 total.
Oh man, that hits, and it's a 1d10 plus 1, right? Is that what it is?
1d6 plus 1.
Oh, 1d6. Woo-hoo-hoo!
4.
All right, you see, so as you toss your axe, you see as it lands straight in the snout
Oh.
of this humanoid. You see as
yes.
it continues straight and the axe pierces the top of its skull. You see as the humanoid originally had its claws forward, drops its arms, head straight down. As it hits the ground, you see as it shatters into ash. Your hand axe falls. Boom.
Oh, that's weird. Able to do anything else, or do I have to wait?
No, because you don't get a second.
That's
roll.
true. Okay.
At this point, though, you see as Tordik. Whoa, what's going on?
I'm here to get you the hell out of here.
For the love of God, man! You see as Lily kind of pierces behind. You see as she draws her bow, releases the arrow, pierces the head of the other humanoid. You see as soon as the arrow pierces through, slumps over,
Oh my god.
shatters into ash.
Interesting sort of creatures.
At this point, you see Frederick. His eyes are now a crimson red, looking at you. What's your AC?
18. Because of the shield and the heavy armor.
Yep. See as he opens his mouth. I don't want to do this.
Do what you need to then, eh?
He's holding his action.
I really don't like that.
And now it's your turn.
Okay, so then I will then take the warhammer that I have.
Mhm.
I'll then have that. And then since it's considered a two-handed, I can't have the shield anymore.
Right. So you're just going to drop it real quick?
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop it. So now I'm at 16. Then going to, if possible, charge at the next estranged creature.
Mhm.
Just
All right, roll the
heavy
hit.
swing. 18.
Woo! Yeah, no, that definitely hits. But your AC is now 16.
Yeah, my AC is now 16 because I
Okay.
dropped the shield.
So as you rush forward, your hammer, boom, hits it on the side. Warhammers, are they made out of metal?
Yes,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I have a wooden one.
What a hammer! Smacks it to the side.
Mhm.
You see as you hit it, as it begins to fall, the ash just. As you turn like this, though,
Mhm.
you feel the claws of Frederick like pierce the. Oh no, you're wearing heavy armor, huh?
Mhm.
It doesn't pierce your skin, but
It goes through the chainmail.
Yeah, it goes through the chainmail, and you take 3 points of slashing damage.
Mhm. All right.
It's Tordek's turn, but he can't do much.
He's chained to the chair.
Yeah, no, he can't do anything. Lily takes off his chains, so now he is free.
Oh, nice.
At this point, it is Frederick's turn, and Frederick is now turning and beginning to run away. He's gonna dash, so for another 30 feet, so he's 60 feet away from you guys.
Mhm.
You see as he like throws open these double doors, and rushes away from you guys.
Are we technically still in combat, or because I don't know how you never said how many creatures there were?
No, you're not anymore.
Okay. So then, in this process, I just look to Leandra saying, or not to Leandra, excuse me, to Tordek and go, "How badly are you hurt?"
I got knocked out and I don't feel injured.
I'm assuming I don't really notice anything that would cause any alarm, any sort of
Yeah, there's
gashes or
nothing that's
anything.
really like prominent.
All right. So then I grip the warhammer tightly. So I'm going after that imposter. You can join me if you want, but I'm not going to force you.
You see as Tordek and Liliandra kind of like nod with each other and continue with you. You guys make your way through these double doors, and as you exit out of the double doors, you guys see that you are on one of the towers in Scorn City. This tower is very elongated, where you can kind of look like around the city. You have a good bird's eye view
Yeah.
of the entire city. You can see that there seems to be an uproar happening in the central of town. You can see in the distance your guys' flag for the Caravan of Sentinels kind of flying in the distance. You can see just a large turmoil happening within the town. It seems like the Caravan of Sentinels are beginning to grow in size and kind of taking over the central part of the city. A lot of fire, a lot of different spells being casted. It's kind of like chaos down there. Looking to your right, you can see multiple staircases, and you become to realize that this is like the town citadel.
Okay.
Like the large area where
Okay.
where the leaders kind of come together to kind of discuss what to do with the city.
And Frederick isn't there.
No,
Okay. So there's only one flight of staircases.
yeah, from where you're
There.
at.
Okay. So after seeing the chaos that has been upon, I say nothing to them, for I'm assuming they know what my intentions are. Start going down the staircase.
Alright, they follow suit. You guys continue down the staircase. It kind of swivels a little bit until you reach the grand staircase. The grand staircase kind of has like what's it called? Where it's flat for a little while on stairs. What's it called? A landing. It's like a landing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about stairs.
Yeah, you make like it's this long landing where you can see like on the opposite side there's another another staircase that goes to another tower. To your left is a declining staircase that kind of leads to like a large gated area. It looks like that's kind of like the entrance to the staircase. And then to your right is going up. You can see like different statues of individuals that are kind of renowned in Scorn City. Though it's strange because you don't see any of the guards. You don't see any like bloodshed on the stairs that you normally would if the city was under attack.
This stage just keeps getting weirder and weirder each time. So, you mentioned the gates that were like the entrance of this place, right? And I'm assuming, are they opened or closed? Like if someone went
They're
through
closed.
They're closed. Could I make an investigation or perception to see where Frederick might have went?
Yeah, make an investigation.
Okay. 3?
Yeah, no, you can't really. There aren't any tracks that you can see. Even the Leander's having a hard time figuring it out.
At this point, I start to go through the doors,
Okay, towards the city.
towards the city.
Okay, yeah. So it takes a little while, just because the gates are locked from the opposite side.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a key or anything, but with your warhammer, you're easily able to just knock it open. Knocking it open, you can see that there's a couple of different roads that kind of lead out from this area. Different districts, from where you're at. Going left is more of where you kind of grew up at. There's blacksmithing, a lot of metal work happening to the left of where you're currently at. Going forward is where that large group of individuals were fighting it out. That's more of the common area, where there's a lot of different shops, a lot of trade area and stuff like that. You're very familiar with all of these roads.
Yeah.
To the right is more of the scholastic area of town. It's a lot of trading of information, a lot of schooling, arts, and stuff like that.
Okay. And so then I'm going to, at this point, since I don't have any sort of idea where the hell this imposter went, I'm going to head towards the common area where I saw all the chaos happening, right?
Yeah.
And go there to find Ramek and help him in any way I can.
All right, yeah. So you guys make your way down the central street of town. It takes you a little while, but you're able to get to the rear end of this large group of these humanoids that you fought in
the hall.
In the hall, you can see people are fighting back and forth. You guys are the only people behind this line of humanoids.
The only people. Great. And have they noticed us yet?
Not yet.
No. So what I'm going to... How close would you say we are to the group?
You guys are probably about like... Yes, I will say at this point probably like 40 feet away.
40 feet away.
That way, like, you don't disrupt them or like...
And if I get closer, I'm assuming that's going to disrupt them.
Yeah, it'll depend.
It'll depend. Okay. I don't think I really have anything that could... Because they're not necessarily dead, are they?
No.
No? Damn. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna try something. You can tell me if it'll work or not.
Yeah.
So behind this group that and everything, what I'm going to do is take my sacred flame and okay, wait, it's 60 feet. Okay, I was making sure I was good.
Yeah, you're within range.
What I'm going to cast Sacred Flame to at least see how they will react to fire, and to see if they'll scatter, if they'll just immediately turn to ash, or
Okay, yeah. So I need to make a
Dex of 13.
failed 1d8.
2d8 actually.
Oh.
That's what it says here.
Woo!
2d8.
Yeah, so as you cast Sacred Flame, you can see as this radiance descends, and you see as the minute it touches this humanoid, ash, you can hear a cheer like, woo! On the other side.
Mm-hmm. Can I still like move an attack, or can I just move?
You can move, but at
Okay.
this point, you see as Lillian begins to draw her arrow,
Mm-hmm.
releases one, another one turns to ash. You begin seeing as the caravan of sentinels are kind of pushing these individuals back. You Lilian, or you Liliandra, and Tordek, you guys begin to fight off these things individually. You can tell that these sentinels are pushing them further, which has them retreating, which has you guys knocking them off one by one, to the point where you guys begin to clear this area where you guys kind of meet up with each other. The overall officer who's in the very front is actually someone that you began with, explaining to you. His name is Meltadana.
Maltadana.
Yes. Kind of looks at you and just, everyone else is gone.
Gone.
These bastards killed more of us than I could possibly imagine.
I only showed up what seemed to be like the late end of it.
Well, we never really would have thought that they would attack us from within.
Is Maltadana male or female?
Female.
Okay, because I don't know if you've established that.
Sorry, yeah, my bad.
So I know how to properly
address her.
Yeah. Oh, ma'am. Our captain is dead.
All of our captains are dead.
What? That's not possible.
You see, as further behind them, there seems to be like a large pile of bodies. She kind of like turns around, addressing. Then what do you call those? You can faintly see in the pile the side of the face of Frederick.
As noticing this, I'm assuming I'm going to still have the warhammer, not necessarily at the ready, but the warhammer's down.
Yeah.
But of course, the sounds of me tightening around the handles, it can be heard. Just
yeah. You can also see the other bodies of his commanding officers, a multitude of other ones.
Why only the officers? That doesn't make sense.
You can see as she kind of like looks to the distance, and it's not just the officers. Pile next to it, you can see on the very top an orc's arm.
Would I fully know if it was him or not, unless I looked?
You feel a little distraught as Tordek moves you away, kind of rushes towards the body. You can see as like he kind of climbs up a little bit, grabs onto the torso, and begins to just cry. You can see Liliandra, sorry, begin to tear up.
I'm assuming he at least made it here to get you all. Otherwise,
He is the reason why we could fight off as much as we could.
bastards. So now what?
Well, now we search for whoever's done this. We need to find a way to keep our city safe.
If it helps at all, ma'am, apparently who might be behind this is maybe a shapeshifter of sorts.
The instant you begin to talk about this, you feel this weight, figuratively,
Yeah, of course.
on your shoulder as the sky begins to darken.
That's not good.
Looking up, you begin to see arrows.
I don't have time to react. I already know that. Plus, I don't even have my shield, which sucks.
Roll a d20 real quick.
14.
14. You pick up on what's happening and find shelter within one of the stores that are nearby.
I'm assuming I'm yelling out and people to take cover. I'm
Yes.
assuming. Okay. I'm not just like a.
As everyone is rushing, you see as Leandra begins getting pierced by arrows.
God damn it! I knew it was coming, but still. Damn.
You see as she is trying to protect younger people from the Sentinels. As she protects what seems to be like a younger teenager
Mm-hmm.
who probably just joined maybe not even a week ago.
Yeah.
She forms like a body shield right above them as arrow after arrow after arrow pierces her. You see as Tordik is doing his best to dodge, seems to be doing fairly well until he bumps into another of your sentinels, knocking him back, piercing him through the neck. Watching as Tordik falls, as more arrows.
In this process, I know it wasn't likely, well, considering that, but in this reactive process, Roland wants to at least attempt to drag them into the shelter, but I know he won't get far.
Okay, yeah. So you attempt, you open up this area and you begin to reach out towards Tordik's body. You take 9 points of piercing damage
Okay.
as you bring Tordik's body into the shelter. You are now pierced by 4 arrows.
Mm. That does not feel good.
Nope.
So, is he completely dead or is he still breathing?
He is about to die.
You can play this how you want, but of course, in this moment, I just trying to console him, like, "You're okay. I'll help you. You'll live. I swear it. You'll live."
I told you I'll always be by your side. Always. Never forget that. Thank you, Rolland, for making me feel like I made a difference. You feel as like his grip just
Roland doesn't know how to really react. He is still showing in his, of course, through the field, he's tend to perfected the stoic expression, but nothing can really hide the tears that is, trying to build.
So after a few moments of silence after the barrage, you hear in the distance,
By the order of the king, relinquish your control of the city. Anyone who defies this order, the punishment is death.
you hear as what sounds like a battalion of soldiers. You can hear as they're slamming doors open. One opens to you, and you see the King's Guard.
Oh, okay.
Full suited armor with the large lion emblem on their chests.
Okay. All right.
Asking if everyone is okay.
No. I don't think most of us are.
You see as he kind of helps you up. You see as two other soldiers come in, begin to grab the various bodies that are in town, escorts you to it looks like a medical
Tent or
section,
something? Yeah, okay.
that they've established. You see as the King's Guard are trying to kind of bring some order to the town. You see them trying to work on townsfolk who may have been injured. One of them sits down with you. What happened here?
We were told to go on a mission. To come back home. When we came back, townsfolk were being attacked. By what? I still don't know. When you kill them, they turn to ash. Humanoid-like creatures, but not really human.
Sounds something like out of a fairy tale. You see as he kind of stands up and walks away.
That's all you want?
You sit there pondering what happened as you see the King's Guard continue to create order within Scorn City.
I'm going to believe that they took the arrows out of me and I'm bandaged up and all that. Okay. So in my still somewhat wounded state, now that I don't no longer have the arrows, I'm going to step out and see the aftermath, really, what we have truly lost.
So exiting out of the tent, looking around the city, you just see majority of the structures pierced with arrows. You see the streets destroyed, and you see all the guards moving various bodies. You can see the group of bodies of the commanding officers being burned. You see the bodies of Liliandra and Tordek being moved into a large a large shallow grave.
They're not burning those bodies, they're just putting them in shallow graves.
Yep.
They deserved better than this. Proper funeral, but... And I say this aloud because of course I'm angry and still in pain. But of course the king's god don't see it that way.
You see as a few of them kind of turn to you and then pay you no mind. They continue doing their duty.
Mm-hmm. Do I happen to see the officer that talked to me at all?
No, he kind of meshes into the rest of the crowd.
All right.
It's very hard to distinguish other than the large feather pieces that they have on their helmets.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't see where the individual was that talked to you.
Do I happen to see Maltodana anywhere? Either with alive or with the body?
Yeah, so she is alive. She seems like she's in one of the medical tents being looked after.
Mm-hmm. So then I'm gonna make my way to her, and I won't sit because I don't know how she'll really take my presence and just go, what's going to happen to the Sentinels?
You see as she looks towards the healer, and kind of just, can we please have a minute? Kind of just puts the cloth down, walks out. The Sentinels will always be. But I don't believe the king will allow us to operate the way that we once did.
And there's no reasoning with the king's gods to give our men and women proper burials, is it? Is there? Excuse me.
Do you want to fight them?
Do you think I could really take them? Honestly.
That's what I mean.
They deserved better. You know they deserved better.
They were my friends too. I lost a lot of people just as you did. But if we play our cards right, in time, things may be different.
If we play our cards right, may be different. It's not the reasons why I joined the Sentinels.
I will make it a point to keep what we believed to be honorable alive. I understand that it's not what you signed up for. But we never turn our back on a Sentinel. The day you need our call, we'll be there.
Let's hope I stick around long enough for that to happen, ma'am.
Regardless if you're here or not, you'll be known.
Better not be known as a hero, ma'am.
I don't think there's any heroes in this story.
There's a few in mind. Shall I name them off for you?
She kind of grabs whatever writing material is close to her. Who'd you have in mind?
Captain Fredericks. Rummick. Tordek. And Liliana.
Promise. These names won't go down in vain.
I pray that they don't.
If you excuse me, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Oh, I believe so.
See, she kind of like stands up, limping just a little bit from her
Mhm.
injuries,
Mhm.
and exits out of the tent.
I then, as much as it pains me for the most part, I try to help the healers as much as I can, whether with heavily wounded and such. And then once I know I feel I can feel at least somewhat good about myself,
Mhm.
I just leave. I don't say a word.
Yeah, so you give the assistance to the King's Guards. You see it's a lot of like younger healers, a multitude of individuals. You guys are helping as much of the town folk as possible. Your last individual that you heal is one of the girls that were saved by Liliandra. You kind of have the sense of not necessarily closure, but your own sense of closure.
Mm-hmm.
You heal the young girl and you stand up. You turn away, grab your supplies, you grab everything that you have left, and you exit out of the entrance of Scorn City, making your way down the trail. And that's where we're going to end this this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope it was as emotional for you as it was for us. We will be back with another episode relatively soon. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bloodhaven for more episodes, and make sure to check it out on our website as well. So thank you guys. We'll see you soon.